beginning of time, man has left his mark. Graphically, first with paint, and then with ink. Nearly 600 years ago, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press and changed the course of civilization. From that day, printing has remained a mechanical process, able only to duplicate the same image over and over again, until Benny Landa's invention of the digital printing press.
When Gutenberg first invented the printing press, though he surely didn't imagine the technologies of today,
this powerful technology will impact all printing markets, from packaging to personalization, and from book publishing to short-run color printing. So where will all of this lead? Do you know where this leads? It leads to the run length of one, to the individual document, to the targeted publication, to the personalized product. Anything that can become digital will become digital, and certainly the printing industry will be a digital industry.
wow, I have seen the future, and it's worth waiting for.
Today, digital printing produces billions of high-value printed goods. But despite its many successes, digital printing remains a niche technology, producing fewer than 3% of all printed pages in this $900 billion market. Why has the industry been slow to replace mechanical printing with digital? Why has inkjet, invented in the first half of the last century, failed to penetrate mainstream printing? What is the difference between inkjet and nanography? When will digital printing finally be able to match the quality, speed, and cost of offset printing? Here to answer these questions, the inventor of indigo electrophotography and Landa nanography, holder of over 800 patents worldwide, ladies and gentlemen, Benny Landa.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome you here this afternoon. You know, about 40 years ago, I founded Indigo, and I had the privilege of personally leading Indigo scientists and engineers over a 25-year period during which we developed and commercialized the world's first digital printing press. Then Indigo was acquired by HP, Hewlett-Packard, and I shifted my focus to research in nanotechnology for alternative energy. That was 15 years ago. Today at Landa, we are some 500 scientists and engineers working on nanotechnology to help make our society a more advanced, prosperous, and healthier one. We are working on nanotechnology applications that range from nanobiopolymers to nanocosmetics, nanopharmaceuticals to nanometallics. And we discovered nanopigments, pigments led to the development of nanography, and nanography is what we unveiled here at Drupa 4 years ago. Now I'm going to be talking to you a lot about nanography and its impact on the future of the printing industry. But first, we would like to share with you how nanotechnology is going to impact practically every aspect of our lives.
Well, that went well. Now where was I? Oh yes, nanotechnology is the science of ultra-small particles. Particles so small, they're measured in nanometers. Billions of a meter. How small is a nanometer? Well, a sheet of paper is 100,000 nanometers thick. And since I started this sentence, your fingernails have grown 10 nanometers. Nanomaterials enable the creation of extra hard coatings, super strong materials, and of course, beautifully rich colors. In collaboration with the leading companies in their fields, our scientists and engineers at Landa are applying the power of nanotechnology to create products that enhance our lives. We are creating a new kind of automobile paint that will enable cars to have breathtaking luster, purity, and depth of color. We have developed nanopigment filters for television screens that will impart unprecedented contrast and superb picture quality. We are working on nanomaterials to increase the efficiency of solar cells while lowering their cost, helping solar energy replace fossil fuels to make our planet a cooler, more sustainable place to live. For the cosmetics industry, we synthesize nanomaterials that are super absorbers of dangerous ultraviolet radiation, protecting your skin from solar damage, aging, and cancer. We have also developed a new hair color technology that uses nanopigments to produce vivid, long-lasting hair coloration without harsh chemicals. Soon you will see nanotech food labels, letting you know exactly when the product is no longer fresh, putting an end to wasted food, saving billions. But perhaps the most exciting of all nanotechnology opportunities is in medicine, where our nano-drug delivery technology will enable faster, more potent, targeted treatments to fight pain, cure disease, and save lives. So why are we telling you all of this? To illustrate how nanotechnology will impact our lifestyles, our economy, and our businesses. And there's no business that will be more greatly affected than printing. And not just by nanography. Here at Drupa 2016, we are unveiling a new nanotechnology for producing metallized graphics called nanometallography. Metallized graphics are widely used, especially in labels and packaging. Upscale products commonly employ metallization to make their products more appealing.
but the use of metallization is limited because it requires the use of foils, which are expensive and very, very wasteful. Here's how nanometallography works. A single layer of metal nanoflakes is formed on the surface of a donor roll. Only 50 nanometers thick, the nanoflake metal layer is offered to the conventionally printed trigger image, transferring it only in the image area where it bonds instantly. Since only the metal used in the image is consumed, there is zero waste, enabling nanometallography to cost half of conventional foil printing. It is fast and easy to use, simplifying the production of complex metallized graphics. And, unlike foil, nanometallography is microwave compatible. Landa nanometallography can be used with virtually any printing process, whether mechanical or digital.
Nanometallography is indeed a wonderful innovation for our industry. But since we unveiled it only 1 week ago here at Drupa, I'm sure that it had very little to do with the reason any of you came to this show. I think these days most people come to Drupa to gain insights into the direction that our industry is headed. And I think now, specifically to answer the question, what technology will replace mechanical printing as the industry moves into the digital era? Will it be inkjet? Will it be nanography? And hey, what's the difference between inkjet and nanography anyhow? The fundamental difference between inkjet and nanography is that with inkjet there is ink-paper interaction. The wet ink contacts the paper. With nanography, wet ink never contacts the paper, so there is no ink-paper interaction. You see, ordinary paper stocks, whether coated or uncoated, all absorb ink. The wet ink penetrates the paper, and with it, much of the pigment. And therefore, rather than being on the surface where the pigment can efficiently absorb light, it is buried in the depths of the paper, wasted. In fact, if you look at the back of lightweight paper stocks, you can even see the ink penetrating so that you can see the image through the back of the paper. This inefficient use of ink means that you need a lot more of it to create acceptable optical densities. But more ink means more water penetrating into the paper. So much water, in fact, that it becomes difficult to dry, especially high area coverage images. And therefore, high-speed inkjet is limited to low area coverage applications, such things as books and transactional mailers. Moreover, because different papers absorb inks in different ways, inkjet is entirely substrate dependent. That means the quality that you get on the image is exactly dependent on the absorption characteristics of the paper. So how does inkjet attempt to deal with this problem? Well, if you cannot print on ordinary paper, you have to use special paper. Paper that is specially coated with a barrier layer to prevent the ink from penetrating into the paper. But specially coated papers are not only more expensive, They're not what your customers want. Just imagine you going to your customer and saying, "Hey, Mr. Customer, from now on, you are limited to using only specially coated papers." How do you think your customers will react? Of course, because your customers want you to produce their jobs on the papers they choose. Now, don't get me wrong. Inkjet is a wonderful technology. It is great for home printers, for office printers, for certain industrial applications, for certain commercial applications. But to replace mainstream offset printing, you have to be able to print with the highest quality, at the fastest speeds, and on any paper. That is not inkjet. So, how does nanography do it? Please have a look.
The nanographic printing process begins with the ejection of billions of microscopic droplets of Landa nano-ink colorants onto the special image conveyor blanket. Each row of ink ejectors adds its own color of nano-ink. Each droplet of nano-ink lands at a precisely designated location, blending with other droplets to create the final colored ink image. As each droplet lands on the heated blanket, it begins to spread and lose its water, becoming thinner as it does so. When all of its water has been evaporated, the ink becomes an ultra-thin, dry, polymeric film. Let's look again. As the nano-ink film spreads and dries, it becomes only 500 nanometers thick, the thinnest ink image of any printing process. The completed 4 to 8 color image is now ready to be transferred. Because of its unique properties, Landa nano-ink images have the amazing ability to bond tenaciously to any paper or plastic without penetrating the substrate. Upon transfer, the nano-ink film instantaneously bonds to the paper, forming a tough laminated layer, leaving no residual ink on the blanket. Nano-ink images can be transferred to sheets or webs of any ordinary coated or uncoated paper without any kind of pre-treatment. Since nano-ink images are already dry, they can be coated in line with conventional UV or water-based coatings, and printed goods can be immediately processed right out of the press, even in the most aggressive finishing equipment. And all of this with superb print quality at offset press speeds. Let's talk about print quality. As we have seen, the dry nano-ink image is fully formed well before being transferred. That means that no matter what kind of paper, smooth, rough, absorbent, non-absorbent, even plastics, there is zero dot gang, no ragged edges, and no strike-through. And all are printed with identical high quality. But there is much more to nanographic print quality than just dry images and sharp dots. You see, conventional pigments, which are hundreds of nanometers in diameter, don't just absorb light, they also scatter light. Scattered light severely limits color depth and purity. Landa Nano Ink, on the other hand, is comprised of nanopigment crystals that are merely a few tens of nanometers in size, which have zero scatter. This enables nano ink to print deeper, purer colors with the broadest color gamut in the entire printing industry. So broad, in fact, that 4-color nanography covers more colors than 6-color offset printing. And 7-color nanography covers almost all of the world's leading brand colors, making special colors a thing of the past. The Landa S10 nanographic printing press is the industry's highest performance sheet-fed digital press. It is designed for folding carton, displays, signage, and other single-sided applications. It is equipped with AQM, Active Quality Management. Developed together with partners EFI and AVT, AQM scans every pixel of every printed page, ensuring flawless output with every sheet sellable, fully automatically without operator intervention. The Landa S10P nanographic perfecting press for commercial printing applications, as well as the Landa S10, both employ time-tested robust sheet feeding systems from our partner Komori, ensuring precise, reliable operation 24/7. Both the S10 and the S10P are capable of printing at a breathtaking speed of 13,000 B1 sheets per hour in straight mode, while the S10P can deliver 6,500 double-sided B1 sheets per hour in perfecting mode. The Landa Operator Cockpit is a 21st century command and control center that is a press operator's dream come true. It provides fingertip access to the entire press, touchscreen job management, and user-friendly interactive machine controls, live video feeds from 10 press locations, vital signs indicators, ergonomic convenience, adjustable inspection table with backlit registration, troubleshooting indicators, instant replay problem analysis, remote support interface, even a personal bulletin board. Here today for tomorrow's digital press operator. The Landa W10 nanographic printing press is a 1 meter wide web-fed press designed for flexible packaging, paperboard, laminates, and other single-sided applications. Printing at 200 meters per minute on a broad range of plastic packaging films, metal foils, paper and board, the W10 is ideal for producing a wide range of packaging and industrial products. The Landa W10P publishing press is a twin-engine, two-sided web-fed press for magazine-quality publishing applications. All Landa presses are driven by digital front ends, developed in partnership with industry leader EFI, which operate at a mind-boggling data rate of 80 gigabits per second, making them by far the most powerful ever created. Landa nanographic printing presses bring the power of digital printing to the packaging and publishing markets.
So let's summarize. We've seen that Landa nanographic printing presses can print on any paper with offset quality at offset press speeds. Now we haven't talked a lot about speed, so let's talk about speed. Can you imagine what a digital sheet fed printing press